upgrading the Gideon Oathsworn Planeswalker deck. Hey everyone, it's VM Campos Magic Fan. I've got another Planeswalker upgrade video for you. This time, Gideon, the Oathsworn. My Planeswalker videos always follow the same idea. I focus on common and uncommon cards, so it's a budget build. And then I also focus on cards within the appropriate set. So this will be only War of the Spark cards. Now, of course, this deck can be upgraded with any cards you want at all, any of the new Ravnica block if you'd like, and also rares and stuff. But I'm going to stick with commons and uncommons only in War of the Spark. Okay, so what we're going to do is first look at the mana base. Now, there seems to be, as usual, these Planeswalker decks have a little too much mana. Okay, we've got the 4 Ozhov Guildates, so we'll keep those because this is an Ozhov deck, so black and white. Now, there are 10 swamps, but then 12 plains. That's a little too much, so here's what I'm doing. I'm taking out 2 of the plains, and I'm replacing them with 2 Gateway Plazas. Now these let you tap for any color mana once you pay 1 to keep it in play, so you'll never be with your wrong color of mana. Okay, ultimately we're trying to get our mana so that we can get to Gideon the Oathsworn. He is our premium card here, nice and shiny. Look at his armor. He's a 6 casting cost legendary planeswalker. Whenever you attack with 2 or more non-Gideon creatures, put a 1/1 counter on each of those creatures. So they get stronger and stronger when they attack with Gideon. +2. Until end of turn, Gideon becomes a 5/5 white soldier creature that's still a planeswalker. Prevent all damage. Okay, so he's somewhat indestructible. Damage won't hurt him. He's a 5/5, and he's a human when you +2 him. Well, that'll help you get quickly to the -9. Exile Gideon, and each creature your opponents control. So in case you don't know about the story, Gideon has done the ultimate sacrifice to help everyone, and in your deck he will take care of all of the creatures of your opponent. Really cool. The other planeswalker in the deck, we'll keep it as is. It's Kaya, Bane of the Dead. She's 6 mana in total, but there's 3 generic and then 3 Ozhov mana. So that's either white or black mana, 6 in total. You get a 7 loyalty planeswalker with only minus abilities. However, your opponents and permanents your opponents control with hexproof can be the target of spells as they didn't have hexproof. So it'll take off hexproof for your opponent's stuff. Okay, here's the better part. -3, exile target creature. Okay, so she's only got the exile ability, but she can do it twice before she's inoperable to do that. Now with a technique we'll talk about later, you can pump her up even more. So those are the 2 planeswalkers. The deck comes with these. I've got a whole playset of Charmed Stray, the best card in War of the Spark. For 1 white mana, you get a creature, cat, lifelink, 1/1, and when it comes to the battlefield, it gives a +1 counter to other stray cats, to other of these Charmed Strays. So you put 1 out, it's a 1/1. You put a second one, that one's a 2/2. You put a third one out, that's a 3/3, a 2/2, a 1/1. You put the fourth one out, that's a 4/4, a 3/3, a 2/2, and a 1/1. You have a huge cat squad with a lot of life link, a lot of life gain. I love that because then the deck also came with 3 Ajani's Pridemates. It gets bigger every time you gain life. That'll be easy with these kitties. Now, it'd be great if I can have a full playset, and I do actually have a full playset here. So I'm taking out the Vampire Opportunist and putting in 1 more Pridemate. So a full playset to guarantee that I get out this Pridemate, and it starts doing what it needs to do. Now, as it gets bigger and bigger, you'll want to give it some evasion, so check it out. The deck comes with some flyers, 2 that matter and 1 that doesn't. So I'm going to take out the War Screecher and put 1 more of the Trusted Pegasus. This is a 3 casting cost 2/2. Whenever it attacks, target attacking creature without flying gains flying. So make these Pridemates bigger and bigger and make them fly over your opponent. Now, there was a bug in Magic Arena that if you attacked with only the Trusted Pegasus, the game basically crashes. Believe me, I recorded it on my stream, because this wants to give flying to another creature, but this is another creature, but this gives flying to another creature, but it doesn't work, and the system crashed. But it won't crash in real life. The deck comes with 3 makeshift battalions. I'm actually going to remove all of them and put in 3 Vraska's finishers. 3 casting costs, so it's the same as the one I removed. 3/2. When it enters the battlefield, destroy target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls that was dealt damage. So, if you send out your 1/1 Charmed Stray and does damage to your opponent's big tough planeswalker, then you summon the Vraska's finisher, that big tough planeswalker is dead because Vraska's finisher came in. And after all, you might have pleaded your case with my queen earlier, now I am here and it is far too late. Oh snap. Okay, so I'm going to keep all 3 of the Nixilis' Cruelty. You might think about adding 1 more. You're free to change the deck, but these are great. 3 mana, target creature gets -5/-5. If that creature would die, exile it. So get that creature out of here with a -5 ability. We have a Bond of Discipline, which I'm actually going to remove completely to put in that 1 more Nixilis' Cruelty. So that's how you can get the full playset of that card. I'm keeping Command the Dreadhorde, 6 mana to basically steal creatures from different graveyards. You lose life based on what you steal, however, so be careful. Speaking of life and stealing it and so forth, we have Cruel Celebrant. This is becoming a very popular card. 2 mana. In black and white, 1/2 creature. When it or another creature dies, or a planeswalker you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. So this could bring your life back as it drains your opponents. And in multiplayer, it's even more amazing. Well, the card's really amazing. So what I've done is I've removed 1 Gideon's Company to add 1 more Celebrant. So I've got the full playset of the Celebrant. Good. And I had to take out 1 of the 3 Gideon's Company. This is one of the exclusive cards. Number 268 out of 264, only found in the Planeswalker decks. 4 mana, 3/3 creature. Whenever you gain life, and we have the ability to gain life in this deck, put 2 1/1 counters on Gideon's Company. Okay, 4, put a loyalty counter on a Gideon. So if you've got 4 mana, you'll be able to increase the loyalty of your Gideon. Now it is 4 mana in total and reliant on other things, so I took 1 out, no big deal. There are also these 4 Desperate Lunges, which are more of the exclusive cards. That's a little much, so I took out 2 to put in 2 of these Banehounds. Let me get back to the other card in a moment. These 2 Banehounds. Now I want a full playset of the Banehound, so I'm also taking out the Enforcer Griffin, kind of a very expensive flyer, and I'm going to focus more on life gain because, oh, the Banehound, for a single casting cost of black, you get a 1/1 Nightmare Hound, lifelink, and haste. So this will start attacking right away, turn 1, gaining you life. Gaining you life for the Ajani's Pridemate. Gaining you life for the Gideon's Company. So that's why I picked those instead. And I took out 2 of the Desperate Lunge. This is number 266. 2 casting cost instant. Target creature gets +2/+2 and gains flying until end of turn. You gain 2 life. So more life gain to do the other shenanigans. Something gets a +2/+2 and gains flying. I really like the art on this. Check it out right here. Gideon is coming in to slay the dragon. I wonder how it turned out. And I'm keeping 2 of them, so that's good. And the last exclusive card over here, Gideon's Battle Cry. So 267 out of 264. It's a sorcery, kind of a high casting cost of 4. Put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. You may search your library for Gideon, reveal it, and put it into your hand. So this will proliferate, sort of, over to your Pridemate and make it stronger and let you go get your Gideon. So I'll keep it in here. And the last card is the Oath of Kaya, one of the rare cards. 1 and then a white and a black legendary enchantment. So you can only have one at a time on the board. When Oath enters the battlefield, it deals 3 damage to any target, and you gain 3 life. So deal 3 damage to a creature, a planeswalker, or a player, and then you gain 3 life. Whenever an opponent attacks a planeswalker you control with 1 or more creatures, Oath deals 2 damage to them, and you gain 2 life. So Kaya's Oath is totally hanging out, protecting you, protecting your planeswalkers, dealing damage to them, gaining you life for your life gain shenanigans. Well, loyal patrons, let's talk about sideboards and other things. Here's one of the first of the other things. Now, you can add the Grateful Apparition to the deck, which is only a 2 casting cost, but it is an uncommon, and it's a 1/1 flyer. When it deals damage to a player or planeswalker, proliferate. So you'll be able to increase the counters on your Pridemates, or the counters on your planeswalkers, especially Kaya, since she's only a minus ability. This card is amazing. I only have one to show you here, but I would put the full 4 playset to really make this deck hum. It is an uncommon, so maybe think about that. Over in the sideboard, okay, I got a few items here based on War of the Spark. So I have Wanderer's Strike, 5 mana to exile a creature and then proliferate. So once again, make your things bigger with the proliferate. Don't forget Gideon's Company can get bigger. And you exile a creature, okay? A couple of those, perhaps. Topple the Statue. This is a great way to disrupt the opponent. Tap their permanent, which is including their land, planeswalker. I don't know why you would tap their planeswalker, except if they've got a Gideon, perhaps. Artifact, whatever. Oh, look at that. If it's an artifact, you destroy it. And even if you tap something that's tapped, you still get to draw a card. So a little card draw there, like that. Here's some more removal. Divine Arrow. 2 to do an instant, deals 4 damage to target attacking or blocking creature. So if the opponent has a lot of attackers, you might want to sideboard this in. Deals 4 damage to them when they come and get you. Defiant Strike. For only 1 white mana, you get a +1 onto your creature and you draw a card. So more card draw, more better. You might have to Spark Harvest something, destroy target creature or planeswalker with a 1 casting cost. However, you'll have to sacrifice one of your creatures in order to take advantage of the low cost. Okay, no problem. If you pay instead a total of 5, you can do the same. So a couple of those as an example. And then Sorin's Thirst. Double black mana, deals 2 damage to target creature and you gain life. So take out some of their smaller creatures, gain life, power up your life gain strategies. I think this will work pretty well in the sideboard. Or also, what about Gideon's Triumph? Now here's another uncommon. Target opponent sacrifices a creature that attacked or blocked this turn. If you control a Gideon planeswalker, that player sacrifices 2. This has worked amazingly for me when they've got when the opponent's coming at me with 2 of their creatures and I've got a Gideon out. I cast this instantly and both of them are dead. Even if I don't have Gideon out, they have to sacrifice 1 of them, which is great. And lastly, Prison Realm, another uncommon. 3 casting cost. You get to scry when it comes to the battlefield to see what's coming up, but then also, better yet, exile target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls until this leaves play. So take out one of their nasty creatures or planeswalker. Unfortunately, this doesn't quite work for Oketra, because the opponent can choose to bring it out of exile back to their library. Totally broken. Actually, all of the gods of this set are broken that way. The opponent can choose to not take them to exile, so be careful about prison realming them. Alright, what about some big money upgrades? I've got a couple here. Sorin, Vengeful Bloodlord. Here's one of the rare planeswalkers in our colors for loyalty. As long as it's your turn, creatures and planeswalkers you control have lifelink. So a planeswalker having lifelink is amazing because the next item here, +2, Sorin, deals 1 damage to target player or planeswalker. So this planeswalker can take out their planeswalker. And then -X, return target creature card with CMC of X from your graveyard to the battlefield. The creature is a vampire in addition to its other types. There isn't very much vampire tribal going on here, but bringing back a creature of a CMC of X is really nice. then we've got the Elder Spell. This is the card that everyone's in love with. 2 black mana. Destroy any number of target planeswalkers. Choose a planeswalker you control. Put 2 loyalty counters for each planeswalker destroyed. Just think about it. If you destroy at least one of your opponent's planeswalkers, you can +2 your Sorin, plus the +2, or +2 your Kaya, or +2 your Gideon. Really, really cool. This one's getting up there in price, so think about getting that. Now, I don't have an example to show you, but pretend this is Karn's Bastion. Do you see it? This is a Karn's Bastion. That's an amazing card. It's a land. It's a rare. It's getting pricey. 4 and a tap to proliferate as much as you want, as much as you have the land for it. So I would put a whole playset of that if you can afford it. And lastly, imagine that this is the Interplanar Beacon. So that's a land that helps you cast your planeswalkers faster, and you gain life when you cast a planeswalker. So, Interplanar Beacon, and Karn's Bastion, and the Elder Spell, and Sorin Vengeful Bloodlord are a couple of big money upgrades that you should think about. Well, there you go, everyone. That was the Gideon, the Oathsworn Planeswalker Deck upgrade for patrons. Thank you so much for contributing to the Patreon. I hope you're getting some great stuff for your contribution. You really keep me going. You keep me funded with whatever level of contribution that you've done. It's so much appreciated. Stick around. There's more to come, more exclusive stuff for patrons. This has been VM Campos, and I'll see you on Ravnica.